what's going on? It's D-Man. You already know. Bring it to you some NBA 2K16. Today we at the Park Strange Range. In this video, I kind of want to talk about MyPark mode and what happened with MyPark mode. Now, we were playing MyPark the other day, and I realized, you know what? Something ain't right. Something is not right. And even now, while I'm making this video, I'm like, yo, I still don't really understand what's wrong with the park, but I feel like something is wrong. Now, MyPark was introduced in NBA 2K14. We used to play it a lot. It was a lot of fun. And same with 2K15, and now here we are in 2K16 with MyPark. But I noticed that MyPark isn't popping anymore. MyPark is not it. It's not really fun anymore, and I'm not sure why. Because if you look at the mode, it made improvements from 2K14 to 2K15 to 2K16. Improved every year. Gameplay wise, I do think the gameplay got better over the years, even though 2K16 still has its flaws. Of course, you know that. But what's up with MyPark? And I realized that it's just not fun, period. It's not fun, mainly because it struggles where all the other modes in 2K struggle at. And I'm going to go over that in this video because I just want to break it down. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is rewards. In 2K, they just struggle with rewards in general, whether it be MyPark, Pro-Am, My Team, My Career. I'll have a video on that soon, but let's talk about MyPark. Now, they do have rewards. They do give you an incentive to play it. You can get to Legend 5 this year, which is way more than Legend 3. But let me tell you a problem with that. The reward system is kind of messed up, or the rep system is kind of messed up. Mainly because you have to find a balance between, you know, it being difficult to get to the top rep, but it also has to be attainable. This year you have to play 7,000 park games. That's the rumor going around. 7,000 park games to get to Legend 5. Nope, 7,000. Look. I think most people aren't playing the park anymore because they just said, screw it, I'm not going to get to that. I'm not going to get to Legend 5, so they just stop playing it. They don't see a reason to do it if they're not going to get to the top rep. And I understand, man. Legend 3 last year, it was kind of perfect. You know, even if you just played the park, you can get to Legend 3. If you play at the Jordan Red Center, you can get to Legend 3. Either way, you can get to Legend 3 before the next 2K comes out. But this year, man, it's kind of just straight up ridiculous. And people just don't see a reason to play it. They don't see a reason to do it. That's why people are wanting the rep back. That's why people want a rep boost. It's not because we're lazy. It's not because we don't want to grind. A lot of people made that grind last year, but this grind is so unnecessary. 7,000 park games. 7,000. You want your community to just stay shut in? Do nothing outside? Just play park all day? Because that's what you have to do. If you want to get to Legend 5, I still think it's necessary to have a reward system like last year where it's attainable, but at the same time still pretty challenging. So now I want to talk about animation slash gameplay. Now, I'm going to do a whole nother video on gameplay, and it won't really pertain to this, but I do feel like it's a big problem. Now, a lot of people think 2K15 is better than 2K16, and I highly disagree. 2K15 was trash. After patch 4, no. You can't say that. But you can say 2K15 was funner than 2K16, and I'll be okay with that, mainly because when you go to the park, you want to get crazy with it. You want to go wild. Now, the problem with 2K16 is they took out a lot of animations. Yeah, you do see some crazy dunks here and there, some crazy putbacks, but you really don't see it as often anymore. When you go to the park, it's really like a 3v3 Pro-Am game, and I'm not really digging that because the park is supposed to be separate from Pro-Am. The park really is supposed to be a street ball mode. It's supposed to get a little bit wild out here, and you don't see it being wild. Now, I want to refer back to 2K14. Even though that was the first time they came out with the park, and they had a lot of problems with the .net spots and all that stuff, the park on 2K14 had a good balance between kind of ridiculous cheese stuff, but at the same time, still kind of nice gameplay. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, that was the park back then. You could lock people up. People really couldn't cheese you, but you can still get loose with it. You still saw people doing the honey dip. You still saw people getting wild on putback, going under the legs on alley-oop dunks. That's what people want to see. Now you don't really see that, man. You don't see one-hand poster animations because I don't know where they went. They just disappeared. You don't see crazy alley-oops. Most of the time, you can't even complete an alley-oop dunk. So when that happens, that's when this mode becomes kind of boring in my opinion. It's not that the mode is bad, but this is supposed to be the street ball and one crazy NBA Jam mode, right? Not completely NBA Jam, but you all know what I mean. So those are my problems with MyPark this year. Two small problems, but I think they made a big difference in the previous MyPark modes. One of the rewards need to be attainable. A lot of people aren't out here anymore because they just know. They know they're not going to get to Legend 5. And even then, I stopped playing because I just want to get to Legend. I'm just like, you know what, screw it. Why would I do that when I know that I don't play that mode enough to even do that? Even though Legend 1 is really attainable. It really is. That's just me being lazy. And another thing is the gameplay, the animations. People want to get wild out here. People don't want to have like 3v3 pro-am games because that's really what this mode feels like. Even though you do have, you know, some crazy animations, you do have the different affiliations to different courts, it just feels like pro-am 3v3. And, you know, you want MyPark to be separated from pro-am. You want these modes to feel kind of different. MyPark is supposed to be arcadey. It's supposed to feel fun. And I'm not getting that this year, in my opinion. I don't know. Also, every park has to have a 5v5 or 4v4, right? I just feel like that. So anyways, in the comments below, let me know what you think about MyPark this year and how you would like it to change for next year. Peace.
Yo, I got next right here.